G'day, friends and fans. Welcome to Writing Corner 33, Analysing Bad Writing. I'm going to look at Ashoka. Now, with Ashoka, there's one thing I want to point out. This is not a review. This is an analysis of bad writing. I picked Ashoka because recently I looked at it, thought like a lot of people, Dave Filoni, he did a good job with Rebels. He'll do a good job with bringing it to live action, because it seemed to be that lately the trend with live actors was turning around. Hollywood seemed to have dropped the idea of every show reinventing the wheel. If you're a fan of Star Wars, you want Star Wars. You don't want Dave Filoni's Star Wars. You don't want Disney Star Wars. You don't want interpretive dance Star Wars. You want Star Wars. Now, there are some terrible things. Let's just for a minute there forget the fact that they broke canon so many times. They can't establish canon establishes the rules and the storyline of the universe, so you know what to expect. But with bad writing, they want to reinvent the wheel every time. They want to change the story every time. First, the Force is for everybody. Now it's female. Get stabbed with a lightsaber? It's just a burn. How did it go through her? Where's the hole? Do they know what a plasma torch does to human insides? Oh no, this is the alien universe. No. I made some notes. Again, this is supposed to be about bad writing, and there are many things wrong with the show. There are many things wrong with the characters. But I think the worst kind of bad writing is baby food. Now, they got away with baby food in Harry Potter because the character was 11. See, when you write a children's book, you get away with a lot, particularly baby food. And what's baby food? Nothing sophisticated. No, all children are heroes, all adults are villains. The children are misunderstood miscreants who don't really get up to anything really bad except for the one bad child. But really, baby food is where you spoon feed the audience garbage and say, go, 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 telling you how good it is. And say, good, you eat it. But it's mush. It's just mushed together. We take ideas and just mush them together. Don't have to make sense. Is the Force the Force? They're trying to, was it metachlorians, a binding force that's flows for everything? It's magic. Well, it's a magic system, but they keep reinventing it. Now you've got the sisterhood, the three witches based off the Greek fates. Of course, if you haven't picked up that Hera is a Greek goddess, that was Zeus's wife. Some say also sister. But of course, this goes on and on. They're always referencing something better. Baby food. But what else is there to baby food? Well, there's 5 signs. Everyone's a clown. Now, that doesn't mean they're always having fun. I mean, they clown around. They take nothing serious. From the opening scene, Sabine not taking seriously her friend's memorial, and yet she's pining for her lost friend. She's clowning around. They're lazy. Nobody trains. They do barely anything. Yet somehow they all achieve to high levels. Hey, because it's all wish fulfillment, right? Everybody's a clown. It's all wish fulfillment. Secondly, everything's convenient. There's no working for the goal. Sabine just stands there spinning the object around, picks it up, and just does a Rubik's Cube solution. Ta-da! Just move the parcel. You know what the Rubik's Cube solution is? If you don't know, just pick up a Rubik's Cube, keep turning it and turning it and turning it. Turn aside, turn aside, turn aside, turn it over, turn it over. And once you got to the fourth one, turn it over, then you rotate, then you do it again. Well, eventually, if you keep repeating that, you'll eventually cycle around for all combinations back to solved. That's the Rubik's Cube solution. Just spin it around until everything is solved. That's it. It's not a puzzle. It's baby food. Everything's convenient. There's no hard work. Look at Harry Potter. No hard work there either. Just waving their wand. No real schoolwork, no maths, no science. It's baby food, right? It's all stupidity. But speaking of instant success, there's no travel. I mean it. They go from having they break orbit, having a conversation, get shot up by the enemy, jump to hyperspace, and they come out on the other side of the galaxy. No travel time. They travel in a space whale. No food, no water. Just have a breezeful conversation for a couple of minutes in the cockpit, and you're in another galaxy. Not millions of miles away, not billions or trillions of miles away, but millions of trillions of light years away. You don't have no idea how far apart galaxies are. Neither does Dave Baloney, apparently. Again, travel time's just as long as a conversation. Everything's instant. It's baby food. More baby food. Heroes don't die. Now, this is the worst kind of plot armor. Now, you can have a story where the heroes don't die or they get wounded. That happens a lot. Band of Brothers glossed over the fact that glossed over off-screen deaths all the time, but pretty much they had a few. But that was realistic. But we get to Star Wars. No named character dies. It's a fucking war. Yeah, you could have plot armors or wounded, or you could have a small band of heroes. Yeah, we rebels. We all rebels die except for the A-team over there. And if you haven't worked it out, the A-team, yep, same thing. Heroes never die. Yet they go. Now you can have. Now, of course, if you ever played video games, it's baby food, right? You have plot armor. But this is the worst kind of plot armor, right? In a video game, if you wade into the end, if you say Call of Duty, and you're there camping and rat-a-tat-tatting away, and suddenly you see a group, an entire squad. Do you YOLO into that and buddy hop around thinking, I'm going to kill them all? Well, unless you've got cheat modes on, yeah, you will. But Star Wars, there's no consequence. That's what I mean about heroes never die. There's no consequence. No matter the odds, the heroes always survive. The enemy always misses. You get a bunch of bandits armed with sticks. It's like, my theory is Star Wars is a dystopia, a civilization on the verge of collapse, completely on its way to total extinction. That's why so many planets are hardly populated. Heroes always manage to survive no matter what the odds are. Even so far as to go to defeating an overwhelming force. During fights, the enemy always miss. They stand around watching instead of shooting or getting involved. Heck, just grab her, and while she's struggling, ram her with, oh, that's right, They don't die from lightsaber wounds. They don't die from being shot. Mandalorian armor can stop blasters. What about her head? Bang. She's just in front of you. Bang. Game over, man. Game over. And then everybody stops and says, whoa, not cool, man. Not cool. You know, it's like, what? We're the bad guys. We're supposed to lose. Did you get the memo? So, you know, good guys never die. It's baby food, right? Saturday morning cartoon dribble. It's fine when it's a Star Wars cartoon, but when you make that cartoon canon and live action, well, it becomes garbage tier baby food. And it's no longer for children. But the worst part, I think, is that it's full of ideas stolen from better shows, but presented in monosyllable tones. Thrawn is bad. We show you with stormtroopers. Look at their armor. They're dirty and they're run down and they're consorting witches. But I think the worst one is like the World Between Worlds. That, of course, is stolen from the timescape in the Apocalypse series in X-Men. You know, where Cable's traveling through time. He's walking down this big road. He's looking for Apocalypse through time. The River of Time, literally a road. That's the World Between Worlds. But I actually, seeing Ahsoka, I actually expected the Cable to be walking up behind them as she was playing with Anakin and her so-called deep philosophy. You want to live? Wow, what deep philosophy, man. The Witcher's 3, stolen from Macbeth, or the Three Fates, which is actually the Three Fates, but Space Whale, stolen from much better science fictions that came before, and anime. Can't think of one particular one, but you're going to say, oh, but what about the tentacle monster or the big worm in the asteroid field? Yep, those were garbage tier. That was garbage tier. But remember, Star Wars is nothing but stolen ideas eclected together. Scene for scene. The Force Awakens was stolen from Star Wars. Star Wars stolen beat for beat from Hidden Fortress. They have always used words that mean other. They've always stolen the concept of the Sith. Sith just means half, home, from Scottish. The Kusith, a mythical dog. Cat Sith, just Sith. It's a word of many meanings in Celtic. That's all. It's got nothing to do with people. In fact, the quite opposite. The Force, it's just magic, rewritten for babies. Oh, it's mystical, man. It's mystical, man. I mean, how many people would seriously expect, you know, you go from Luke Skywalker having his hand cut off, though, to Sabine getting ran through, and it's just, oh, look at my moon rift, everybody. And of course, she doesn't work out, you know. She's just in Mando. She's not fit, and she's supposed to be a Mandalorian. She can't engage. She's supposed to be a Mandalorian. She can't engage in. She can't. How does she rearm? Where's she getting missiles from? It's like the Iron Man armor. It's convenient. That does everything, right? It's bulletproof, man. It's just discount Iron Man armor, but shoot her in the head. But bulletproof armor. Well, the plot armor, right? Again, recreation of World War II fighters on a plane where they come in, pew, pew, pew. You are at a distance. You're in a spaceship. Just line up and shoot. But somehow the enemy's craft can't be destroyed by the enemy's guns. Lasers that fire at the the Eye of Sauron fires at Ahsoka's shuttle, and the lasers go big puff of smoke. No fucking air in space. So how can you? And explosions in three dimensions would be a ball, not a puff of smoke that goes up. So many times they fucked up the special effects. I probably just gave up at the end. All right, I tried not to do a review, but it's just trying to analyze the bad writing, poor dialogue, right? They're always pining about Ezra. Just Ahsoka should just turn around and say, just confess to him. She sees him and it's like, oh, yeah, hi. They're acting like they're fucking 14. You're seeing a girl for the first time. That's the kind of fucking morons. They're writing YA novels because that's what Star Wars originally was a YA novel. Dumbed down, better movies to appeal to a bigger audience. But see, they can fake movie attendance, but they can't fake popularity. And Ahsoka is just showing, we're seeing the results of a dumb society all around, where authors who put in hard effort get criticized for putting a comma in the wrong place. Yet Ahsoka, they get hundreds of millions of dollars. The writers get paid thousands of dollars a day. They're supposed to be the peak. They're supposed to be the best at their craft. And they write a Saturday morning cartoon. And this whole idea, the Force is female. And all this folding their arms, right? If anybody's done any form of training and they folded their arms in a gym, they get kicked out. You're not paying attention. And if you go to a gym for fucking God knows how long, and you got saggy arms, But I mean, some of the fight choreography, the spinning. A spin is usually for a larger sword to bring it up, around, and bring it down on somebody, not to spin around and then block. What they've done is just Dave Filoni's been watching anime again, watching all these anime fights. He goes, oh, look at that spin. I'll copy that spin. And he's making notes as he's going along. Just, I'll spin. Or now I'll kick. Doesn't think about the fighting style or if it's appropriate or not. Because he doesn't even think about the strength and balance. Most of the time, somebody kicks you, you just go, what the fuck? Most people can't generate. Aren't John Claude Van Damme, who spent 20 years building up his legs so he could kick a hole in a wall. Ahsoka puts a boot up and they fall down and just don't get up. Oh, but it's the Force, man. It's mysterious, man. And then Ezra. What happened to all his Force push kung fu? Guess they watched too much. Guess we know which anime they were watching. Avatar, The Last Airbender, that is. But when you think, and that's the problem, most people don't think. This is a long-running franchise that is banking on the fact that it's a long-running franchise. But every show, instead of hiring the best, they're hiring whoever kisses the boss's ass. Nose picking and nepotism is and they're just bad writers who can't succeed in life. And it's heartbreaking to the majority of writers out there, not just myself, but there's just so many writers out there who worked hard and they're never going to get the credit or the thousands of dollars. And you look at Hollywood and you just go, what do they pay? They're clowns. They're overpaid and underworked. Well, that's until you stop supporting Star Wars and bad writing, you're just going to keep getting more of the same. You're going to keep getting betrayed. You keep going to get taken advantage of. Pardon me. Sorry. Oh, it's so worked up. It's just so disappointing that instead of being able to look forward to, a bit of escapism, a distraction from my own writing to refresh. You can't spend all day writing. Although Isaac Asimov apparently did, and he produced over 200 works. But of course, he'd been writing for decades, something I should have been doing. But, he contributed. They won't make his books, hardly any of his stuff. Now, if you want good writing, Isaac Asimov. Now, some of his writing is excellent. Some of it's good. Not to brag, some people have said I'm good. But other people, I'm not the only one. Hundreds of people across the internet all shaking their heads, wondering what's gone wrong. I tell you what's gone wrong. Ever since you accepted bad writing in Star Wars, and this is the problem, it elevates the Clone Wars. And for many now whose first entry to Star Wars is the Clone Wars, they now look at that as, oh, look, see, we're vindicated over our liking Jar Jar Binks. When fans come up with better stories than writers who are paid millions of dollars, it's bad writing. And I don't mean fans who spent time. I mean, they walked in the funeral and they said, oh, Jesus, Jar Jar Big fellas, he's a convenient, what a convenient fellow. He's obviously a Sith Lord. No, it's just a plot convenience for children, for a fuzzy children's toy. Because that ultimately is what Star Wars is. It's not entertainment, it's an advertisement for toys. And Ahsoka has missed opportunities. They should have introduced Thrawn. Thrawn should have had a triumphant return. The New Republic should have split. While the rebels are trying to make peace with Thrawn, they kick Leia out because she doesn't want to make peace. And there, you've bridged the Force Awakens. But no, phony baloney has got to do the long story because I'm doing anime. And unfortunately, anime doesn't translate well to Western live action unless, of course, you take the route of you have to have a good story. You have to have good dialogue. You have to have a large ensemble cast that you go through, like they did with Rebels. Look at Rebels. You had a large cast, lots of action, lots of things happening. It's like Dave Filoni needs help. It's like Dave Filoni is very good at throwing ideas at the board and then having somebody else come through and rearrange and connect the dots. We all rise to It's the Peter principle. We rise to our level of nepotism, and we rise to a level of incompetence through nepotism, or you rise through merit to the top. Most of the people, unfortunately, like Dave Filoni, kiss ass, do what the boss tells them to do, and rise to the top, get promoted, doing the bidding, and ultimately, once they're given power, they turn out to be fucking sheer incompetence. Why? Because they just steal ideas off everybody else, and when finally comes that nobody is around to pick up their mess, that's reality, folks. There are far better books out there than Star Wars. They're just not getting the mass appeal because Star Wars is bombarded with us every day, and I'm sick and tired of it. And I was of two minds. I really was going to do Harry Potter, but I think it would be too controversial to point out all the bad writing and all the things that J.K. Rowling borrowed from everybody else, and then how people really, through their sheer ignorance, just don't know that most of her ideas. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that a few get the good deals, and the rest of us have to scrape by on next to nothing. But of course, that could change. You can support the channel. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Check out my links below. I have a Patreon. It gets you early access to my writing. I have PayPal if you just want to donate money to keep me going. And of course, I have a workshop now. So thank you for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.